crying a lot. Anybody who came towards me, I just wanted to hit them. I remember that day because that's the day that really they told me that my son's going to die.
It was 10 years ago, when Barbara was 15, that she thinks she became infected. She was sexually active and occasionally shooting up heroin.
I never put it personally in my arm. Somebody else always put it in my arm.
Was it a clean needle each time?
No, it was all dirty. Somebody else used it first, and then they passed it on to me.
5 years later, at 20, Barbara was drug-free and about to be married. Because of her past, she asked her family doctor for an AIDS test. He said it wasn't necessary.
If I was a man, and if I was gay, I would have been tested. But since I was a female, they didn't test me. And now I have a child that has to suffer with this disease. And also an ex-husband who also has to suffer with this disease. All because the doctor didn't do what he should have done.
Granted, this all happened at a time when few women were being diagnosed with HIV or AIDS anywhere in this country. But the sad truth is, it's still happening. Doctors are not making the connection between women and AIDS.
What if she's going out there having unprotected sex? She could be HIV positive. She could be infecting more men, and those men in turn infect other women. And what about the children that are going to be born with this disease because that doctor didn't have enough courage, or whatever he didn't have enough of, to ask her?
And now it is courage that Barbara needs most. When her child is well, she tries to deny his fate. But when he's sick, or when a blood test reminds her that a deadly virus is slowly but surely destroying his immune system, then she must face the inevitable.
Knowing that, his smile, and like his big brown eyes, knowing that I'm not going to have that anymore, is the hardest thing for me to handle. He's what keeps me going. And I don't know, like I said, what I'd do without him. I don't know if I would run away. For me, there would be nothing to live for.
And another thing that scares Barbara is that she will die first, and then who will care for Christopher? Tomorrow night, on News Center at 6, members of the Gibson family tell how they deal with AIDS. For them, it's a matter of a strong faith and a sense of humor. We'll be right back after this.
Many people, men, women, and children, have been discriminated against because they had either HIV or AIDS. In her News Center special assignment, Women of Courage Living with HIV, Diane Atwood has the story of one family that took the risk of telling everyone, and so far have come out winners.
I'm just going to grab a piece.
Well, good for you now, there,
The Gibson household is often bursting with teenagers. Twins Dan and Dave are high school seniors, and their friends are always welcome here. Sometimes they even get fed.
Guys, there's plenty out here.
That's Mom, Linda Gibson. Ask these kids what they think of her, they'll say they love her.
If Dan or Dave aren't in the room, you know, lighting it up, it's usually their mom.
Some of the kids see her as an inspiration because Linda Gibson is living with AIDS.
I don't know how I could be able to handle it in the beginning, but seeing her, she's so strong, and you'd never know that she is HIV positive, and she carries on day by day.
When I first found out, I didn't know anything. And because I didn't know anything, I was all that more afraid and fearful and just consumed by grief for myself and my life.
It was 4 years ago that Linda found out she was HIV positive after donating blood. She was divorced and living in Florida and totally stunned by the news. She looked into her past for answers. It could have been blood transfusions after a car accident. It could have been a relationship after her divorce. Whatever the cause, the reality is Linda was infected and she wanted to be with her family. For the past 4 years, she has lived platonically with her ex-husband David and their sons, and life has gone on.
It's a disease. It's a nasty thing because there are no answers to it yet, and it's confusing to many people, but you try to erase some of the confusion that causes fear by showing people, hey, you know, we're still just plain folks like you.